working for you. CBS 6 News at 11 starts now.
It was the first full day in command for President Donald Trump, and in the midst of the protocol and pageantry, inaugural weekend is marked by massive protests by millions of people in America and all over the world. I'm Angie Miles. Thank you for joining us this evening. The new first couple began the day with a prayer service at the National Cathedral. Joined by the Pences and the Trump children, they participated in a blessing for the new administration and the country, delivered by clergy of many faiths, including Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Islam. And during that time, marchers came by the hundreds of thousands to speak against Mr. Trump and his planned policies. Some came from Richmond, as our Jake Burns reports.
On a weekend of patriotism,
call your congressperson, call your senator.
One of the largest demonstrations in D.C. in years. A peaceful resistance against the new president.
That's right, female power, to show our solidarity, to let Trump know that he's not going to push us around.
It was estimated that 200,000 people plus would come to the Women's March on Washington. We're here at the intersection of Pennsylvania and 7th. You can see it's right by a metro stop, and throngs of people were coming and filing into the National Mall. The crowd grew so large that by early afternoon, organizers decided to cancel the formal march to the White House.
It's very energizing to be around so many people who are standing up to say this isn't right.
Richmond mother Holly Brown and teacher Tara Harris say they're worried what the next generation of Americans will think of a Trump presidency.
I've got two sons, and I don't want any of this administration's policies or Trump's statements to become normalized.
I think we're going to be raising our voices an awful lot.
David and Angela Kappas are from RVA2. They hope the political energy they feel here is brought back home.
We can't just stand here and yell at Donald Trump. We need to go home and make sure that we are creating the change that we want to see in our own community.
The fact of the matter is, Donald Trump got 1.7 million votes in Virginia. Richmonders we spoke with today say while they might not be able to support President Trump, they are trying to find a way to have a conversation with their neighbors who did. Working for you at the Women's March on Washington, Jake Burns, CBS 6 News.
President Trump's first order of official business today was to visit the Central Intelligence Agency at the headquarters in Langley, Virginia. He told personnel he is a huge supporter of U.S. intelligence. This does run counter to his criticisms over the past few weeks. The CIA has been investigating Russia's role in attempting to influence the U.S. presidential election. Earlier this month, President Trump questioned the intelligence community's conclusion that Russia had in fact interfered with the U.S. election, but now he denies having been upset, and he says he blames the media for this. The White House press secretary also criticized the media at the first news conference that was held inside the briefing room.
There's been a lot of talk in the media about the responsibility to hold Donald Trump accountable, and I'm here to tell you that it goes two ways. We're going to hold the press accountable as well. The American people deserve better.
President Trump is set to welcome a foreign leader to the White House. He and United Kingdom Prime Minister Theresa May are expected to talk about a post-Brexit trade deal. And now we're going to take a quick check on our weather with Mike Goldberg. Mike?
Angie, if you haven't noticed, it's raining pretty good here in the metro area, and we're still going to have a couple of more hours of significant rain. The heaviest rain right over the city through central and western Chesterfield and over towards Amelia as well, moving steadily off to the northeast. So the entire metro area getting some pretty significant rain right now. But notice the back edge now across southern Virginia. So a couple more hours and it'll taper off to a little drizzle. We're also dealing with some areas of fog that will be with us overnight. A lot of wild weather down south. They had a deadly tornado in Hattiesburg, Mississippi last night during the wee hours of the morning, killed 4 people and injured about a dozen. National Weather Service preliminary survey says that could be EF3 damage, and we've had numerous reports of tornadoes from Louisiana all the way to Georgia and northern Florida tonight. These are current tornado watch boxes in effect. We don't have severe weather here in the metro, but the rain is going to continue. We're at 49 degrees right now. There'll be some steady rain for a couple of hours, and it'll taper off to just a little drizzle during the early morning with some areas of fog. Temperatures holding in the upper 40s. We'll jump into the low 50s midday tomorrow, and there'll be a scattering of showers around. But there's more heavy rain in the forecast. We'll talk about that and what's in store for the week ahead in just a little while. Angie?
We can hear it on the roof right now. Thank you, Mike. In Petersburg, a community is mourning and paying tribute after a stunning loss this week. Our Brendan King has the latest from Petersburg tonight, where they are remembering Minnie Woodard, who was murdered days ago.
It was an emotional Saturday for the Woodard family. A vigil for Minnie Woodard here at her church, the Mount Sinai Christian Center. After her death, we heard from her husband, Alfred, for the first time.
It was God's will that my wife and I would get married and come together and carry out the Lord's will on this earth.
Surrounded by his family is a man who lost his soulmate.
I know that her life has already spoken for itself.
Thursday, 76-year-old Minnie Woodard was found dead in the woods off River Road in Chesterfield. Police say her killer and her husband's abductor, Christopher Jones, was arrested in Norfolk. Saturday, dozens filled the Mount Sinai Christian Center in Petersburg to remember their pastor, their mother, Minnie.
But when I got to Mother Woodard, all the sadness disappeared.
Alfred Woodard, the pastor here, said Minnie made him the man he is today. Nobody loved the Lord more than her.
This woman that God placed in the world, she was a woman of kindness, gentleness, and she was straightforward in her answers to you. When you come to her for the truth.
He says the Woodards know Jones. He used to work for the family contracting business, but wouldn't elaborate on that horrific day. And now Sunday will be Alfred's first service in 55 years without his love.
Without you, I would not have the strength that I have this moment.
After her death, the Woodards tell me they know Minnie is in heaven. For information about her funeral and wake, go to our website, WTVR.com. Working for you in Petersburg, I'm Brendan King, CBS 6 News.
And in Richmond, the family of a murdered man is reeling tonight. The man who is alleged to have killed their loved one has been released from jail on bond. Our Sandra Jones spoke with that family.
First-degree murder. That's the charge facing James Henshaw, accused of killing 23-year-old Devin Jacobs.
Devon has a son. I have to sit here and explain to him why his daddy's not coming home.
Police say Jacobs was shot and killed at the Motel 6 off Midlothian Turnpike 2 weeks ago. Judge William Riley Marchant granted a $20,000 bond to Henshaw, now under house arrest.
It's nothing compared to my son's life, and this is first-degree murder.
Jacobs' mom was there at Friday's bond hearing when Judge Marchant made that decision.
I mean, I'm hurting, I'm angry, I'm all that, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing to me.
Henshaw's attorney, Carrie Bowen, tells CBS 6 the 39-year-old turned himself and the weapon into police. Bowen says he argued before the court that self-defense was a factor in this case. But Tony Jacobs says it's difficult having lost her son and still dealing with the disappearance of her daughter, Keisha.
I need them. I need one of them here with me, and my son is gone forever. He's gone forever. So I just want my daughter home.
It's not really about punishment. It's not at all about punishment because, they're presumed innocent.
CBS 6 legal expert Todd Stone is not involved in this case. He points out what a judge would consider before setting bond.
What they look at is the person's criminal history or lack of criminal history, and then whether or not they think that they're a flight risk or a danger to the public while they're out.
And that was our Sandra Jones reporting. And now, all together now. That is how some people are getting ready for the big sporting event of the spring. You've still got some time, and we'll tell you more about that in a moment. Also, meet some civic-minded young people going the extra mile to show respect for our American flag.